Hudson County View live at Uncut, and I'm your host, the guy that'll tell you 2 and 2 makes 3, your favorite cult of personality, John Arhitis. Happy New Year. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about as always, and as you guys probably expected, we're already off to the races with the 2025 election cycle. So first of all, there's a lot happening in connection to the 32nd Legislative District and the Mile Square City. Of course, that's Hoboken. So first, on Friday, we heard from the Hoboken Mayor, Ravi Bala, and he said he won't be seeking a third term. This is something that we've been expecting for many months. I've talked about it on here. I've written about it, mentioned in my newsletter, and of course others have too, and been a hot topic on social media. Now that was official again on Friday. So then this week, Monday morning, Councilwoman at Large Emily Jabbour, a two-time running mate of Bala's, who also backed him for Congress last year in an unsuccessful bid to unseat U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez. She announced she'll be running for mayor. Again, something that we've expected, something that I've talked about, we've talked about, but now it's official. And then just a few hours ago, we heard from Bala a second time in the past 5 days, and this time he said, yes, I am running for state assembly in the 32nd Legislative District. Again, not a shock, but now it's official and now we're off to the races. And of course, at LD-32, we have two other declared Democratic candidates. That's Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez, and that's activist Katie Brennan. And I'm fortunate to be joined by Katie Brennan today. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So let's talk a bit about what's happening at LD-32/Hoboken. So let's just go right to what Mayor Bala's announcement was today. As I mentioned already Friday, he said, I'm not running for a third term, widely expected, in anticipation of this bid for the state assembly in the 32nd Legislative District. That includes Hoboken, as well as Jersey City's Ward C, D, and E. So from this morning, as a two-term mayor, I believe Trenton needs more mayors who get things done. In the state assembly, I will fight to ensure that New Jersey leads the way in curbing both traffic, fatalities, and climate change, and address the housing crisis that is squeezing so many residents in Jersey City, Hoboken, and throughout the state. With Donald Trump back in the White House and the Republicans in control of both houses of Congress, the role of states and cities is more important now than ever. We are the laboratories of democracy that will move our state and country forward. So, not really too much else to say other than Assemblyman John Allen is the seat that it looks like Bala will be running for. He hasn't made any official plans for the June 10th primary, but it seems all but confirmed that he won't be seeking re-election. We heard about this quite a few months ago, maybe around end of the second, beginning of third quarter 2024. So again, not a shocking development by any means. Allen's, of course, a close political ally of Bala. He ran on his ticket in 2017. And while he wasn't able to nab that council at large seat in Hoboken, he did end up becoming the mayor's chief of staff and later served with some other roles in the city, including APC council. So, as I also mentioned at the top of the program, we got two other candidates, one of which who was joining me later today. So we'll leave that there for now. So on the Hoboken side of things, just quickly on Councilwoman Jabour's announcement, she rolled out, again, on Monday. She had a quick 53-second video that she posted on all social media platforms. And she was pretty succinct in what she had to say. I love this city, and I'm so proud to call Hoboken home and raise our kids here with my husband, Peter. I'm excited to put my energy and experience to work, and today announce my campaign to be Hoboken's next mayor. As a mom, you better believe I've got a long to-do list with new ideas to continue improving our community and make Hoboken a great place to live, work, and raise a family. So otherwise, I mostly touched on what's happening in the Mile Square, at least in terms of that November 4th nonpartisan race. But just as a quick refresher, just in case, the other expected council members that many are anticipating will jump into the race is 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffany Fisher, 3rd Ward Councilman Mike Russo, and 4th Ward Councilman Ruben Ramos. And it's Hoboken, so expect the unexpected. I bet you we have at least one candidate that no one will see coming, including me. So we'll keep an eye on that. And on the governmental side, there's been a lot of chatter in the past few days about Vision Zero. Of course, that's that traffic safety plan that Mayor Bala mentioned in his announcement. Of course, that's been big at Hoboken and Jersey City. And we heard on Saturday, Hudson County Executive Craig Guy, U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez, Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day, Board of Commissioners Chair Anthony Romano, and many others as they rolled out the Vision Zero action plan. So for those of you that aren't intimately familiar, basically, this is a plan to eliminate fatalities and injuries on county roads by 2034. So, just under a decade away. And basically, they're just setting benchmarks and starting to get to work here. So what we heard from Craig Guy, he said, we know that this is an ambitious target year, but we will continue putting in the work and funding to meet this target. Hudson County will continue to work to meet the target year of 2034 because roadway deaths on our streets are unacceptable and, most importantly, preventable. I look forward to seeing our Vision Zero initiative continue to make positive change on Hudson County's roads. And Craig Guy is also the Vision Zero chair, and as you also, I'm sure, are well aware, he's the Hudson County Democratic Organization chair, so it looks like he's got a very busy year ahead of him here. So, related, we heard from Representative Rob Menendez. That was just on Monday evening, and he talked about a $25 million federal grant for Jersey City's 12th Street Corridor Improvement Project, and that includes a bike lane. And this is related to that Cole Street underpass project you heard about just under a year ago. That was something announced by Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop, Ward D Councilman Youssef Saleh, and Ward E Councilman James Solomon. So this is going to do a number of things. But first, hearing from Menendez, he said, with this $25 million grant, we're not only creating a safer travel experience for cyclists and pedestrians, we are also prioritizing sustainability and improving the surrounding community as a whole. I am grateful to the Department of Transportation for their commitment to our shared vision for our district, and we will always work to tackle the urgent transportation and infrastructure needs of our community. So, this is specifically from the U.S. DOT, as he just mentioned. It's the Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity Discretionary Grant Program. A bit wordy there, but obviously you get the point. This is to, quote unquote, reinvent the pedestrian and cyclist experience in Jersey City. And there's quite a few things that they have planned here. They're talking about constricting the existing 6 mainline eastbound lanes to 4 lanes along 12th Street, adding new traffic signals and lighting equipment, widening sidewalks and curb bump outs, adding bicycle facilities, safety improvements, landscaping and streetscaping, including green infrastructure, access improvements to businesses, and more. And this has the full support of the Port Authority. We heard from Executive Director Rick Cotton, as well as from Kevin O'Toole, who is, of course, the longtime chairman of the Bi-State Agency. So with that, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'll be sitting down with 32nd Legislative District Assembly candidate Katie Brennan.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
First of 2 6-minute segments.
Okay. On? 3, 2, 1.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, today my guest is 32nd Legislative District candidate for the State Assembly, Katie Brennan. Katie, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, John.
You're very welcome. So, obviously we're in a bit of a tumult, more so than usual. And what I mean by that is, we remember in the last primary, this pivotal federal decision by Judge Sahid Qureshi about the blind, and now we have this legislative ballot committee. We don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe office block, maybe not.
Right.
And, and of course the usual infighting with the HCDO, or at least it's become usual in recent memory. So with all that, what made you decide to jump in with all this chaos?
Look, I'm a public servant. I have spent my life working for affordable housing. I've worked with every level of state government. And because of that, I have seen when it works and when it does not work. And so I want to run because I'm someone who knows how to get stuff done, but also really wants a government that works for us and a government that is transparent and is focused on the people.
Okay. Now, Jersey City, a lot of people, again, know you in the housing arena, if you will. Obviously, that's something you've committed some time to on the Journal Square Community Association. Yep. So was there ever a point where you considered running for Ward C or council at large?
That's a great question because I thought a lot about it of, okay, where can you make the most impact? And is it at the local level, which has land use, and ultimately decided that my skill set and experience with the state and other levels of government, as well as, okay, what is the need that's not getting filled? How do we address these bigger issues like private equity buying up houses and making it impossible for people to own a home, or jacking up the rent, or controls that are outside of Jersey City's ability to change because they're at the state level. And for all that and more, in addition to my other areas of expertise and experience, I thought, you know what, I think the state is where we can be the most effective. And I really think that Hudson County needs and deserves a super strong presence in Trenton.
All right. Now, I'm sure you watched Governor Phil Murphy's State of the State, or at least read about it to some degree. And on this point, you remember or perhaps you recall there was a point where he said that he wants the legislature to pass this affordable housing bill that is pending. He's saying this could build thousands of new units in, I don't think he put a timeline on it, I guess the short term. What do you think about that plan, and how feasible is it? Does it need any fine tuning, et cetera?
Well, there was a big housing bill that was passed earlier this year, and it doesn't really impact the 32nd because, not to get too wonky, but we're not subject to Mount Laurel, which is in New Jersey has this law that every municipality is required to provide its fair share of affordable housing.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that is super contentious and gets litigated all the time. But there's a brand new law and a lot of places are fighting it. But I don't need to tell you, Jersey City and Hoboken have done a lot of building, and the rest of the state needs to pick that up. We can't solve the housing crisis on our own, and we live in a region. So I'm very optimistic about things like that. I think it will face a lot of headwinds, but I do think that New York needs to carry its weight, and the rest of New Jersey needs to carry its weight so that people have a place to live that's not astronomically expensive.
All right, so on this conversation, when we're talking about the state, and potential legislation. Like, is there, I'm sure you've thought about some things you'd like to put up. So, to tell us a little bit about what you'd like to see happen and what you'd like to help effectuate change.
Sure. So there have been some efforts that haven't really made it to the finish line yet, like the price fixing that we see in rental units, and that is a state law that needs to change. There's also things like, did you know that a building can't be rent controlled until it's 30 years old? So all of this new development that we see going up, none of that is going to be rent controlled for decades and decades. Hoboken just tried to pass an unconscionable rent law. Right now in New Jersey, unconscionable rent isn't defined. And so it's really mushy. So when your landlord tries to raise your rent by 40%, which we've seen, 20, 30, 40%, you would have to go fight that in court. And so that's the kind of thing that, again, we can put some real teeth behind at the state level and make sure that people are protected. I also think, Jersey City and Hoboken is 70% renter. And that's a great thing, but also I know a lot of people who want to be able to buy a house or a condo, and that just doesn't really exist. And the kind of money that you need to get a foot in the door, I think that's somewhere that the state could take an even larger approach. It's something I worked on when I worked at the state at HMFA, the Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, but I think could be greatly expanded for really expensive areas like Hudson County.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there. I think well said. But when we're talking unconscionable rent increases, I guess throughout New Jersey, do you think that's something that could be defined, something that we could have a clear definition going forward in the foreseeable future?
I do, and other states have done it. So there's other states that have changed the rent control thresholds and have also defined unconscionable when they did that.
Okay, and I have a lot more, but we're short on this time. So let's just get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Hydus, and I'm still here with 32nd Legislative District State Assembly candidate Katie Brennan. So there's quite a few things. Well, first of all, let's talk about the field, right? So right now, as of just maybe 3 hours ago, Ravi Bal is now in the race officially. And of course, Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez announced a while ago. How do you, I mean, the HCDO will probably run a couple, but we don't know exactly what they're doing yet. So how do you feel you stack up against the competition at this moment?
I'm thrilled that we have an actual competitive race for the state legislature. I think that's a good thing for democracy, and so that we can talk about what is best for this community, who's going to get it done. And I think we all have time to make that case to the voter.
All right, simple enough. Now, on a pretty serious topic, not that the rest of this wasn't serious, but obviously, like, your story about the sexual assault, the lawsuit, and the settlement ended up going national, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, etc. So, when people read about you, when they Google you, of course, like, that's something that comes up. So when you're thinking about that, does that have any role in your candidacy or your campaign at all, or is that just all in the rear view for you?
I think that taught me many things, including that when our systems don't work for us, we need to fix it. And if you look back at that first article, that's what it was about. Here's this system. I'm a person who had a lot of access to a lot of things, and it didn't work. So how are we going to fix it? And that's what I did. I helped pass more than a dozen pieces of legislation that are now law of the land in New Jersey. I've done the same thing in the housing world to help people with foreclosure, help people buy homes like we were talking about. I think that the other thing it really taught me is a lot of people are going to say that they can speak truth to power, that they're a fighter, and I've done it. I am not afraid to fight for the people and fight for what's right, and I will do that even when it's inconvenient.
Good, okay. But now look, like, again, we don't have the full field yet, most likely, but what do you think is your path to victory here if you had to put a point on it?
I think my path to victory is making sure that people know I want them to be able to pay the rent and the mortgage. I want the dang trains and buses to run on time. I want people to know they're going to have a better life for their kids, and whether that's, safety and jobs and the fully funded schools. And I want people to know that government should be working for them and not for themselves. And I've just got to tell that to as many people as I can, meet as many voters as I can, and try and earn their trust.
So you've been outspoken about what Trenton's doing wrong, and that's probably an ancient scroll's worth of material, right? We could probably spend an hour here at least. But is there anything you think Trenton's doing right that you'd like to see help get over the finish line if elected?
Sure. I think the price fixing and with the algorithms is something I mentioned earlier that started, and we need to make sure that things like that go to conclusion. The making sure that the rest of the state is kind of carrying their weight in solving our housing crisis. So it's not just Jersey City and Hoboken that have to build our way out of this. I think that there's a lot more progress that could be done on transit. Obviously, that's huge for people here. There was a brand new source of funding that was passed just this past year, the CBT. That's a big deal. Obviously, it's kind of, like, is it too little, too late? We've got trains that are stopping, trains that have 40-minute delays. Hoboken's going to be shut down for a whole month. But that's the kind of thing that we really need someone who's focused on that in Trenton to hold the Port Authority accountable, make sure that this is working for our dense areas.
So on the political spectrum, so to speak, would you give any consideration to running with Assemblywoman Ramirez on Mayor Fulop's ticket or running with Mayor Bala? Is that any possibility there?
Yeah, everything is on the table right now. I think this is a brand new world where in a post line, and while I think ultimately having a pure ballot where here's the candidates, you pick two, who do you think can do the job, is the most democratic and ideal way to do it. If there's brackets, then sure, there might be the opportunity to partner.
Okay. Now, similarly, when we're talking about the political calculus, so meaning the Hoboken mayoral, the Jersey City mayoral, of course your race, this race, and then the governor's race, how do you think that impacts your approach to this particular election?
I think it's too early to tell about the gubernatorial. I, again, am glad that it seems like we're going to have a real robust primary. We don't know who's going to win yet, and that's a good thing. I think that for now, that's a different election. Whoever wins, we'll work with them. I really want to make sure that if I get elected, I will work with the county, I will work with the city, I will work with the governor, because that's what people deserve, to make sure that we get things done.
All right, very good. Well, I believe we covered a lot of ground. So just any closing thoughts you want to give to the voters here at LD-32?
Sure. I get stuff done. I've got a track record of making things happen for you, making sure that I speak truth to power, and I will work for you. So please reach out to me and I'd love to get a coffee.
All right, how could they reach out?
You can email me at katie@katiebrennan4nj.com or call me 201-898-0605.
All right, very good. Katie, thank you so much for
Thanks,
joining
John.
me. Much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. We're not quite done yet. We'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. Tall-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Hannah Pinto Properties.
4 items before we call it a week here. So an interesting discussion here at the Jersey City Council caucus. So this was about the recreation director. So for those of you that were following closely throughout the end of 2024, you saw that starting January 2nd, Lucinda McLaughlin, who was the director of the Jersey City Department of Recreation and Youth Development, actually is now a Hudson County Superior Court judge after a vote by the New Jersey Senate. So in the interim, a gentleman by the name of Keith Donath has been the acting director. And that was the number 2, of course, under McLaughlin. And we saw a resolution that appeared on the agenda on Monday. Of course, the regular meeting is tonight at 6, as always, but the caucus always Monday at 4, for the most part, subject to change, of course. The point being, this is Councilman Frank Gilmore, of course, of Ward F, putting up a resolution urging the mayor to appoint Thomas Best as the new director. So that's the long story short, but there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Best. So he already works for the rec department as a systems analyst. He's a part-time special events administrator at St. Peter's University as well. And He was an accomplished girls basketball coach at Lincoln High School, where he also graduated from. He had 2 state championship and 5 Coach of the Year honors before retiring in October 2021. And that was something that he dedicated over 2 decades to. So obviously sounds like a guy with some experience. And he was also very briefly an acting rec director under L. Harvey Smith, who was an acting mayor for a short period of time in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, going back a little while. But with that said, I reached out to city who would mention that this is a mayoral appointment that requires city council approval, right? Similar to what we see on the federal level. You see all this coverage on CNN, MSNBC about Trump and his appointees. Same thing here to an extent, right? Obviously on a smaller scale. Now, at the end of this caucus meeting, we heard a remark from Gilmore that the mayor took umbrage with. What I'm talking about, he said, if you want to discuss further, we can discuss further. I just figured at some point there are no African American directors in the city. We are the most diverse city in the entire country. At one point, our department should reflect the diversity of the city. And he also had some complaints that when we're doing these appointments, everything's politically intertwined and connected. That's a direct quote. And, we heard from a few other council members. But again, that particular exchange got the goat, if you will, of Mayor Stephen Fulop. And he responded to me yesterday. Said Councilman Frank Gilmore's assertion that there are no African American directors in City Hall is not only inaccurate, but also a disservice to the dedicated individuals who have served in leadership roles. And he mentioned that there's at least 5 Black City employees in leadership positions currently: police director, director of diversity and inclusion, director of housing preservation, the division director of community development, and director of veteran affairs. So the council will vote on this resolution, presumably, unless they pull it, tonight at 6. But again, it's a non-binding resolution, and the mayor didn't actually put this up, so I don't think this resolution is really going to move the ball one way or the other, but we're going to see what happens tonight. And on the election front, we did actually hear from James Solomon, of course, the Ward E councilman running for mayor, and he's got a Ward D running mate. That's Veronica Akazua, and she is a ranked choice voting advocate that works for NJ Appleseed, and that's a Trenton-based organization where she serves as the policy and advocacy director. So hearing from Solomon, he said, I am proud to support Veronica Akazua for the Jersey City Council and honored that she will join our slate. Her dedication to making affordable housing making affordable living a priority, and her commitment to improving our schools and lowering the cost of living will help Jersey City grow and prosper. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. We'll see you next time.